Hi, my name is Christina Farley, and I'm the author of the Gilded series, The Princess and the Page, and The Dream Heist. And today I want to talk to you about what has made my books so successful. Now, as you may know, Gilded hit number 4 of all books on Amazon, which was amazing. It's still selling well even today, 8 years later. And The Dream Heist is my new serialized fiction, which is on Kindle Vella, hit number 3 not long ago, and is still selling and ranking on the top leaderboard, which is amazing. Again, it's all thanks to you. But I wanted to talk about some of the elements that help these books really stand out and maybe can help you and your stories stand out as well. And I like to call it the Trinity Effect. And basically the Trinity Effect is taking 3 strands and binding them together to create a compelling and exciting novel that readers will want to read. The first strand is really focused on plot. Now, plot, we all know, is a key element of a story. But let's take this plot a step further. How can you make your plot unique? It needs to be something that hasn't been done before. Now, you can take something like a myth or a story like a fairy tale. And I did that with Gilded. I took a Korean myth and I wove it to make it something unique and something that hasn't been done today. Another way to find compelling ideas is through newspaper articles or something you see on TV. For instance, in The Dream Heist, my husband sent me this article about this new bank heist that happened, and it was through Swift codes, and they stole 81 million just by a few taps on the internet, which I thought was pretty interesting and a fascinating idea for a story. And that's actually the basis that I use the whole plot for The Dream Heist. The second strand that I focus on is world building. Now, I'm a fantasy writer. Even when I don't write fantasy, I still have those fantastical elements and that fantasy world building in my head. And so I really love to bring that whole world building element in every story I write. I want my worlds to be unique, something that you haven't seen before, but yet a place that you're intrigued at and even want to live there or visit, maybe just for a little bit of time. You really want to make sure you're captivating your reader and transporting them to a new place. So for instance, in the Gilded series, I use my own life as a background. I took the place that I lived, I took the place that I worked at, and I brought it into the story. There are so many memories that I have that I was able to put into my stories and allow the story to be rich and meaningful as well. For The Dream Heist, I did something very similar with that as well, but I took a whole mindset of this dream therapy that's being done even now today. And I thought, what if I took that world and added my own elements into it and created my own universe of this dreamscape, which was super fun. And then I was able to take the whole plot basically from the bank heist, that the 81 million that was stolen, and I followed the trail of the money. And as I followed the trail of the money, I put in my own experiences of traveling, because as you all know, I love to travel, and put that into the story. The third strand of the Trinity Effect is, as you can guess, character. Now, you want to develop characters that your readers are going to fall in love with, or maybe even hate, but you want them to be able to follow that character and hang out with them for a long period of time, right? And so you have to really develop that. But one of the things I try to bring into my characters is elements of myself and those around me and my world around me. And that gives that uniqueness to your story, and it also gives a sense of authenticity. So for the Gilded series, I use the students that I worked with. I use the teachers that I taught with. I use the people around me because I was living there and immersed in that whole situation. And for The Dream Heist, I was able to bring a lot of my personal experiences. My grandmother was sick at the time, and she was always struggling with keeping her memories. And that really struck home to me. She'd be doing crossword puzzles and word challenges to keep her mind sharp, but even still, she knew she was losing elements of her mind. And that was really tough for me. And so I was able to bring those emotions and those feelings into the story, as well as all emotions and feelings I have in my own personal life traveling. And that was super fun. So as you can see, we need to have the plot, the world building, the characters. But the part that really binds those three together is you, is the uniqueness that you have to the story that no one else on this whole planet has, because there's only one you, and there's only one person that can tell the story like you can. And so I really challenge you as you're developing your three strands to make them unique and bring that uniqueness of you into each of those. So there you have it. Good luck on your writing, and I wish you all the best.